All right, we have an intro song, sort of, kind of. So, welcome to our very first episode of Hustle and Soul.
Woo!
Actually, I'm lying. I'd be really upset if you guys found out this was not the first episode. We actually did a
It
take.
wasn't.
We did a take yesterday, but my lighting situation was horrible.
Fucked up.
My audio was fine,
The audio was so good. We actually listened to the episode.
so I'm actually glad that worked out
Yeah.
out of everything. But Arlene needs to show her face, and she does not want me to upload just a podcast audio only. So here we are taking take 2.
I just think the video adds to like our characters and our personality. So why would we half-ass anything? We need to give them everything or nada.
Yeah, I mean, the video adds a lot, but I think just doing it was very important. So I'm glad we at
Yeah.
least did it.
And this is our first time doing it. So I think yesterday was like our little practice run. Today's like the real deal.
Episode 1, Hustle and Soul. This is our very first podcast. This is our very first take at it. We didn't know what to title it. We didn't know where we wanted to take this. We knew we wanted to go different directions. And we know it could have gone one of two ways for the most part.
Yeah.
So the first would have been very, how do I put this? Playful?
Yes.
Like,
It was very like naughty, but in a very Spanish, Latino, cultured kids type of way. And it was more so fun and playful versus what we're doing now.
Hustle and Soul. The name is basically as straightforward as it sounds. Welcome our cat. Our cat, Simba.
This is Simba.
If you're listening in just audio, our cat just stepped into our couch and wanted to jump in the podcast.
Yes.
So yeah, so the Hustle and Soul came about. Both of us are entrepreneurs at heart. I think we
You
have
more than me, but
we
yeah.
have a lot of stories to tell. We have a lot of experiences that we like to share with people in our community, and we want to motivate as much as we can. I know for me, for instance, that's a very important thing for myself, and obviously, Soul is the name of our unborn child. We are 33 weeks pregnant.
I'm 33 weeks pregnant. So if I look a little rough, if I look a little,
If you hear heavy
bumpy.
breathing,
if you hear heavy breathing,
there's a
or
reason.
if I have to stop to go pee and take a break,
There's a
that's
reason
why.
behind all that. So we hope we made the right decision. We hope this is as entertaining, informative, and helpful.
Yeah.
In
I like
every way.
it. I like it. And it's funny because on Instagram, we actually asked, like, what should the name of our podcast be? And it was actually really cute because almost everyone who commented or almost everyone who sent us a message had included soul in it.
Yeah,
So
I
thank
think
you
that was
for
a very
thinking
important
of
part.
soul.
That was a very
Yeah.
important part, and it wasn't something that we were trying to like jump on, but it just worked out organically. And I
Yeah.
think it makes sense.
But to speak about that a little bit more too, I think the name of the podcast, there we go with the heavy breathing, but captures like a little bit of the both of us too. So that's pretty exciting. I really wanted Barry to have his own podcast. He had been really wanting to do this for a long time. And I was like, you know what? I'll join you because realistically, like, we're still in COVID and quarantine and you can't really have any other co-host right now.
I mean, that's a fact. So you wouldn't allow it regardless.
So, yeah, we just went for it and I was like, let's just do it. And we had some equipment at home and he brought some stuff and we just kind of, he did most of the work.
We're testing it out. I mean, I'm Frankensteining a DJ equipment to double as a podcast.
For now.
For now, right now we have my wireless DJ mics. I have
I
my
have like Beats on.
Pioneer controller. It's very, very startup, but before we invest into it, I want to make sure it's something that we like, something that we can see ourselves doing, and
Yeah.
then we get the legit equipment as needed.
Yeah. And I hope everyone likes it and actually like watches and listens and gets something out of this. So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think episode 1 we wanted to just kind of introduce ourselves, let the listeners and viewers get to know us a little bit better. For those who don't know us, because
Yeah.
you're a little influencer online.
I'm not.
You have the aesthetic, you have the style,
Do
you have
I?
the vision for these things, all beauty.
Do I?
I mean, according to your
Not
followers.
beauty. Like what do you mean by
Yeah,
beauty?
you're not makeup driven, which is funny
at
because
all.
a lot of
I hate
people
makeup.
a lot of people assume that you're into like all that beauty,
Yeah, it's not.
but little
my
do they know you
thing.
barely do your makeup.
I did my makeup for this podcast, and even then, it's like very minimal. But I don't do those things. I try. I mean, if you go on Instagram and you see my photos, that's probably the only time I have like makeup on, real makeup
Yeah.
and my hair done, but
I
whatever.
mean, I guess let's start with you. Let's introduce yourself and I guess let them know a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone. Simba's back.
Yeah.
I'm Arlene. On Instagram, I'm Arlene.
Arlene's.
My family calls me Arlene's
Orleans.
or Arlene Weenie. And my nickname is Lanes, but a lot of people call me Lanes.
Yeah.
I think it's like my thing, and it's fine. I'm cool with it. I like it. I think it came up from like a drunk night, but I'll take it. I am in my late 20s. We mentioned this already, but I'm expecting. I'm a mommy to be in about a month and a half.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy.
It's come quick.
I feel like everything's changed a lot in like the last couple of months. All good stuff, obviously. Did I say I'm in my late 20s already?
You have that pregnancy
Damn
brain
it.
going. That pregnancy brain is hitting.
Anyway, I'm a Sagittarius, so if you know what that means, I'm very sweet but straight up and a little bit feisty, and
People take that shit a lot very seriously. Like when
the
they
whole
ask,
horoscope
yeah,
thing.
when they ask like, "Oh, when's your baby due?" I say November 6th, and they're like, "Oh, so she's a Scorpio.
She's
Good
a
luck with that,
Scorpio.
bro." And I don't know what they mean by that.
I think you're just not into like astrology and like
I'm
the
a Gemini.
horoscope.
I know all about, I guess, Gemini, but that's the only thing, and that's it.
Because it's your sign.
Yeah, like there's people that follow the entire like astrology
Yeah,
calendar, and
yeah.
I don't understand why.
Because it's a whole thing. You don't have to understand why. Just like people can like whatever they like. But anyway, I'm a Sagittarius. So if you look up like the definition or the description of a Sagittarius, I honestly think it fits me like perfectly. You'll get to know me a lot through this podcast. So it's
Alright.
perfect. Yeah, I'm a marketing manager. I work in entertainment, and I'll straight up say it's film and TV
Mhm.
before anyone assumes it's some other type of entertainment because you make that comment to me a lot.
I've said this a million times, and I always feel like you undersell what you do, or you don't give it the shine that it deserves.
Yeah. I don't like talking about myself or like what I do, especially to other people because I don't know, I feel like that is show offy. But yeah, I'm a marketing manager for film and TV. We do sales, distribution, and theatrical marketing. So that means that anything you see that's like marketing related, key art related, promotions on like Amazon, iTunes, Netflix, Hulu, there's a person behind the scenes doing all that work, and
Yeah.
that person is me. So basically, I work for a company that distributes television shows and film to these different platforms, and we also distribute them into theaters. So I help run all of the marketing campaigns behind all that.
Exciting stuff.
It is exciting, and I've previously worked in sports, and
I feel like you've bounced around from a lot of industries.
yeah, I mean, but it's all like entertainment in the
Sports,
entertainment realm.
entertainment, retail, obviously.
Yeah, that was early on though.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a TV reporter, so
You actually
Growing
taught.
up,
You were a teacher at Cal State LA
I
as
was
well.
also a teacher when I was getting my master's for
That's-
communication.
You've jumped around a lot.
So what? I'm also the type of person that doesn't like. I get bored
You don't
doing
settle.
one thing.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
settle.
and I like to try a little bit of everything. So I'm glad I've done all of that stuff too. Yeah, I don't know. I think you'll get to know me throughout this podcast and know more about me and all that good stuff. So it's gonna be fun.
Let's give it up for Arlene, everybody. You like that?
Yeah, it's cool.
That's disrespectful, but alright, I'll take it.
Now tell us about yourself, or tell them
Uh,
about you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to start. I guess my name's Barry. Also Barry Alexander. Which you prefer, Alexander over Barry?
His middle name is Alexander, and I just don't understand why his parents just didn't name him Alexander. Like,
You have a problem with that name, like a legitimate
do.
problem.
I
And
do.
yeah, so Barry, Bars, DJ Sleek, whatever else you want
I
to go
like
with
Bars. I nicknamed him Bars,
it. Yeah,
and some people have picked that up. So
yeah.
you're welcome to call him that too.
Born and raised Southeast LA, Southgate to be exact. I handle a lot of marketing, design, web development. I do a little bit of everything.
He does everything.
I co-own an apparel brand for men's called Sworn to Us.
Oh, I thought I had it on. I was about to go.
No.
With the mug.
I
Yours
also
is going
work
somewhere.
in the hospitality industry, so we pick up a lot of clients, specifically restaurants, and we help them market their business to the masses.
Yeah.
So a couple notable clients would be like Versailles, Cuban food. They have 3 locations in LA.
So good.
One of my buddy owns Guacamaya Oasis, which is a vegan Mexican restaurant in Downey. So we've handled
Good
them
too.
since the ground up, helped him from start to finish to where he's at now. A couple other spots out of the city, some in Riverside,
And other brands.
and other brands, other people, individuals. We just help logo creation, all that kind of stuff. So I just stay busy with a lot of client work, I guess. But that's what makes me feel like I don't really have a job, because I just do a lot of stuff. Where I feel like you have a job. You have benefits.
I
You
do
have
have
all
a
that.
job.
You know, you go to an office. I mean, I have an office too.
You
but
have a lot of jobs. So like within all of the tasks that you do, you have like multiple tasks. So it's just like one big ass job that's just very time
I think that's
consuming.
what makes it hard for me to describe what I do, because it's just a little bit of everything.
I get it.
Um,
I do have a 9 to 5, so look, the benefit to that is that sometimes I just tap out. I just like where's
that's something I cannot relate to. I can't clock
Yeah.
out, and I think that's something you have a problem with.
yeah.
But it's one of those things that you just kind of deal with it until we figure it out, which I don't think will ever happen.
I know. I'm like, well, like I don't know what the end goal is.
It's hard.
here.
It's hard to turn it off.
It's very hard for you to turn it off.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. I've DJ'd in the past. I think I've started as a DJ since middle school.
Yeah, you were a DJ.
I got into fashion. I used to work at Nordstrom. I used to work at another apparel brand in LA, interning and all that stuff. Then I ventured out and started my own apparel brand. From there, that kind of started working itself out and gave us experience and knowledge to start a different venture with one of my business partners. And now we have a marketing agency. So that's kind of where we pick up our clients and that kind of stuff. But with all that, I have so much free time. I wanted to start a podcast.
Do you?
Yeah. Just add another thing to my plate. But I think this is something that I would love to share my experiences that I've done throughout the years, experiences where I've failed, where I've lost a lot of money,
For sure.
where I've lost a lot of time, but I've gained a lot of experience. And I think that's very important that I want to share with people who are maybe in that beginning phase of where I started at. And
Yeah.
not saying that I'm established, but, it's things that I think can help you avoid dumb mistakes.
For sure.
So hopefully we're able to shed some light here.
Yeah. I know all these stories too, so I'll pick your brain in other episodes so that we get all those juicy details out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of drama behind that too.
Yeah, there's a
which is
lot. There's a
pretty
lot.
interesting.
There's a lot of internal drama with the different industries.
Same here though.
Yeah.
I worked in boxing. Like it doesn't get any worse than that.
That was fun.
That was really fun, but
We've got
mentally draining.
we've gotten I've never had the type of all access I had at was it Mandalay Bay, where they had the fight.
It was MGM.
MGM,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, all the fights are
But
there.
they literally, I don't know what type of badge we had that it was like you can go sit anywhere, go sit front row, you can literally see the sweat flying,
It's pretty fucking
and it's
gross.
crazy, and it's just oh, that's a cool seat. Let's go sit row
in the corner
6 over
by the
here.
ring.
Let's go courts. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
that was definitely an experience, and then meeting all the boxers and the people behind the scenes that kind of run the show,
Yeah.
kind of the puppeteers, I would say,
That could
because
be a whole ass episode.
boxing is definitely
Yeah.
something that's interesting.
Very interesting.
But yeah, I mean, that's that's my spiel. That's what I would say. I guess from here, I'm assuming people would want to know how you and I connected, and how we came to 33 weeks pregnant.
I mean, I think that's a simpler story.
Let's go with the longer version.
Show them the song that God is here.
Let's go with the longer version. Let's not do that.
So I think if you know us, you kind of know our story.
Parts of it, probably.
Parts of it. I think if you follow us on social media, you know a lot about us because I post a lot of shit and I'm always making fun of you and we're kind of
But it's also a highlight reel. I mean, people
True.
say that and it's cliche, but it's true. I think people see that. People see the perfect couple and
and we're not.
Oh,
We're not but straight up we're not.
1000% we're not. But I think
I
that
also it doesn't bug me, but when people are like, you guys are goals, you guys are cute, blah blah blah, I'm like, my photo is
if
cute.
you
The
guys
photo
only
is
knew.
fucking bomb, but
Arlene's literally in the bathroom with the door open, just flipping me off while I walk past, and it's just why? But that's goals, right? That's goals.
I mean, there's worse stories than that. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of I have characters. That's that's kind of
Okay,
funny.
okay.
But yeah, sometimes I'm just the photo's cute. I don't know, that you want my day to day.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, you're cool, but
I'm pretty tight. But
I'm cooler.
hopefully this podcast sheds light to the reality of the relationships and just kind of
Mhm.
normalizes us, because people assume one thing, and
Yeah,
I
for
rather
sure.
show the
The real
real
us.
side, yeah,
Yeah.
and have them appreciate that versus
Yeah.
appreciate what they think we are.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we both grew up in Southeast LA. You grew up in Bell
I
before
grew
you
up
moved
in Bell.
before
I
you moved to Southgate.
lived on Chancellor,
If you're from Bell or Southeast LA, you probably have heard about Chancellor, and Chancellor's it.
it's lit
Chancellor's
or
lit.
it.
Both.
So I grew up on Chancellor for a couple years. I lived with my grandparents and my parents. And then we moved to Southgate at some point. I honestly, I don't remember how old I was. Maybe like 5, 6, 7-ish. Yeah, but we've always kind of just lived in Southeast LA. You grew up in the hood too. You grew up in like what?
I grew up
South-
borderline
yeah.
Southgate, HP, Walnut Park. I mean, I never considered it the hood. Like it's all I knew. I mean, before that we lived on 76 in San Pedro, but I think I was too young to remember.
Yeah, I mean, when you grow up in this area, I feel like it is what it is type of thing. But when you go to college and like you experience life and you see other things, you're like, oh shit, like
We live different.
yeah, like
We live
this
different.
is yeah.
But it's there's a beauty behind it, and I can't knock it. I love Southgate, and I love that it's trying to be better. I just think it needs the help, it needs push, it needs people to showcase
Change,
that beauty.
yeah.
So hopefully, again, something we can probably help shed light on with the businesses or the people in the area. That's something I'd love to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we grew up in Southgate. We both went to the same elementary school.
But it's the same elementary school. Yeah.
Elementary school, State Street Bears, and I think that's when we first met. Could I remember what
did.
year? No, I can't remember
I
past
don't
last
know.
week.
You don't even. Bear doesn't like. The other day we were sitting on the couch and he's like, "How old am I?" And I was like, "What do you like?" He was dead ass serious. You don't know your age. Are you
It
gonna?
really threw me off that I'm 28.
You're 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Well,
I
I mean, I have
I
an excuse
thought-
right now to not know, but
I thought I was 26.
he like legit thought that he was I don't know what age for whatever reason, and I'm like, dude, like.
But it's quarantine,
No.
things change, time stops.
No, it's
so,
your memory.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
But anyways.
But yeah, we met at State Street. Can I tell them about your overall situation?
About the swag.
Not swag. So Barry was that like little teddy bear kid at State Street, and he would show up to school with overalls. Like Corduroy, the little teddy bear.
Yeah.
He would show up to school with overalls and no shirt under. So just like
Swag.
mess. I don't know
Swag.
about swag, but if that's what you want to call it. we
Looking
can.
back at it, I really question why my parents allowed that. But
I question a lot of things.
so then from elementary school, we went to the same middle school.
We went to the same middle school. So we rekindled in middle school because I think we hadn't seen each other after a while because of the whole track system. I was B track, you were like A track or something.
Yeah, there was 3 different
weird.
tracks.
Like, at one point, everyone was together at the same time. And I was like, oh shit, Barry, like, hi. I miss you, blah, blah, this and that. And I think 8th grade is when you officially became like my best friend.
You friend zoned me.
I did.
You friend zoned me early.
I friend zoned you forever till
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and you were in different relationships, but I was always still like that friend that you confide
Yeah.
in, and
But this is still
Talk
middle
to.
school. Middle school was weird. I feel like everybody had like the same boyfriend and girlfriend.
but that's when I think you and I started developing our relationship even more, because you would be in different relationships, but I'd always be that person you talk to whenever you had
Yeah.
problems.
We also got in
If
trouble
me
at
and my
one
girl
point.
was having problems.
Oh God.
It was literally that song.
We also got in trouble one time. Me and you.
I don't remember that at all. I mean,
Yes,
you
you
told me about that
do.
yesterday, and I don't remember. I still
I
don't
tell
remember.
him about this all the time. He's just mental.
I don't
like,
even. I don't
you
remember who the
know
person
what
was.
you did.
I did
mean,
nothing. Explain the story.
Okay, so it was middle school, so I had boyfriends, obviously.
Boyfriends. Zzz.
Everybody had boyfriends. Everybody had girlfriends. Whatever. Do not judge. And I'm pretty sure I had a boyfriend, and I was gonna say or a girlfriend. What? I can do what I want.
Dale.
So, in middle school, remember the letters? You used to write each other letters.
I remember people would do letters, and they'd have the little thing where you'd like make them into like a triangle, and you'd open it
Yeah.
up like a flower.
Weird,
It was
yeah.
really weird.
Or hearts. I never knew how to do the hearts.
The
so
heart
mine
was the
were
easy
always
one.
like little squares.
But I remember people would do that, and I think that's what we started
Yeah.
doing. You would.
So in middle school, there's a lot of that. So middle school was like was it 2000s? Like the weird no, it was fucking cool. Like that was like
That
some
was
dope
like
ass style.
that was like 2000
Early 2000s.
5.
Yeah, super early.
Yeah.
And it was like, if I can describe this era, it was like badass.
It was I consider it the Little John Get Low era
Yeah,
because
and
there was an all age like dance
so
that
the
happened at the park called Teen Town.
Teen Town.
And that's all I like. The vivid memory I have is Little John Get Low playing in the basketball auditorium gymnasium area,
Gym.
and people freaking in a corner to that song,
Yeah.
while other people who were
by the bleachers.
by the bleachers, and then the other people of two cool kids that like I don't need to dance with nobody, or I don't know how to dance or whatever.
Yeah.
They'd be in the game room playing pool, or like I don't know what other games
That's
they
funny.
had.
They also sold snacks.
They sold like hot Cheetos and like nachos and fries.
I would know.
And that's what I remember vividly.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to go to Teen Town a lot because only child, strict ass parents. But
It's funny because that's like I still consider like it's a preview of what like a club would be like.
for sure.
because there was
and we didn't even know it yet.
That's when like people call each other wall huggers because they wouldn't go dance or whatever.
Really?
All
I
the guys
remember
would be in
that.
one wall and the girls would be in another wall, and then one song would come and everybody would run to the dance floor and it'd be a whole thing. And I vividly remember this like crazy, and it's wild to think that was a thing back then.
It was a thing. I used to dance battle at
I
Teen
remember
Town.
it was like crumping or some wild stuff like that. You were actually
I
like
used to
a
break
dancer.
dance.
Yeah, you were in
I
dance
used to
classes and
break
all that.
dance. So we would like come up with routines and then we would go to Teen Town.
Did you think you were cool?
I was cool. I didn't think I was cool. I was pretty fucking cool.
Do you remember the cool like hats you had with like rhinestones and hairbrushes?
And my name?
Yeah,
I do.
you're so cool.
And I had the Sierra like two-piece
And
like
baby fat shoes
and baby
with fat
shoes.
laces
Pink fat laces
and
to
the
be
laces to
exact.
match for your headband.
Yeah, it was the whole vibe.
Swag.
I mean, what about guys though? They had like big ass baggy shirts and like pants that were literally this
If
wide.
you didn't have like a pro club, whatever size
$4X.
slash tall, you were doing it wrong. Like my size, I was an XL tall.
Oh my god! I
That-
think it varies like
And not only that, but you double the shirt. So you have like the
That's
colored shirt under
ugly.
and the white shirt on
your
top.
weird ass spiky hair.
And then you had like a chain. I had the herringbone chain and a fake Cuban chain. And I think I had a chain with like
and
a
the
Salvadorian
bracelet.
pendant.
Ew, you did.
And the bracelets. I had pierced ears.
He's so dead.
I had way more swag back then than now. Now I'm just very careless.
I don't know about swag.
Do you remember we were actually voted best looking in middle school? Like
You?
one. That's such a terrible like category
That's
to be.
very problematic
school.
for teenagers.
Like
yes.
looking back at it, that was wrong. And then two,
Yeah.
why was I in there? I understand you have the green eyes and that kind of stuff, but for me, like,
because green eyes make you best looking.
what was the talent looking like at that year? That I was.
What was
number
the
one?
competition?
Yeah, like, that's just a lot.
I'll take it. If you still have your middle school yearbook,
Please send us a photo because I don't know
please
where
don't.
mine is. I
have a photo. You have it on your Instagram. You have it.
You
It's on
and
your
I on
Instagram.
the yeah.
Yeah, it's on your Instagram.
I'm gonna take a screen cap. I'll put it somewhere right here.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And we don't even like look cute.
Nah, but it's kind of funny that we ended up together.
It is funny.
So let's go back to that story.
Yeah,
Relationships
so
and that kind of things.
we used to write letters to each other, and then
But it was still platonic. Like we never crossed any lines.
I don't
I
know.
don't-
I
middle
honestly
school-
don't remember what the letter said.
I don't either.
But point is that you would give each other letters during like passing periods, or like you would give each other letters like after school, and you take them home and like read them.
That's so
and
funny. It was like
write
homework,
them.
right?
It
was
was.
like homework.
It's like the early text message before
Yeah,
like
before
text
text
message
was-
just blew up, and I got caught writing letters to Barry.
Do you remember what they said?
I don't remember what they said, but we were also 13. Like, what
How
could have
bad
they
could it be?
said?
Actually,
you know?
that could be very bad if you were to think about it. So whatever. So middle school happened.
I got caught.
You got caught. Your relationship ended.
And then I think we thought we liked each other.
here's a story.
He always liked me.
here's
Let's
a
be
story-
real, guys.
here's a
You
story-
all know that.
Here's a story I don't think I've ever told you.
What?
So I remember in middle school, there
I'm
was
so scared.
there was a time where I think it was the whole I don't know if it was a letter phase or whatever, but we would talk, and I thought we were like in a good space. I thought we were towards possibly considering a relationship
In middle school.
In middle school.
Okay.
And I remember one day I was gonna work up the courage to like, actually go ask you.
That's so cute.
And
To be your girlfriend?
yes.
Aw.
And that same day, I was gonna ask you after school because I think your aunt
Pick me
drove
up?
us home.
No.
Yeah, you know how she would she would
Yeah,
give me
my
a ride.
Nina,
Yeah,
Nina,
Nina would give me
yeah.
a ride home because we lived not too far from each other,
Yeah,
and I knew your
yeah.
family and all that kind of stuff. I remember I was gonna ask you after school, and then when I met you after school to go to your Nina's car, you had told me like, "Hey, so and so just asked me to be their girlfriend."
No way. Who was it?
We don't got to name names. I'll tell you off air. And
You can cut
I was
it.
I was a little shattered, but you know,
Were you
whatever.
sad?
I was a little sad.
I
but
think I know who it was.
but I swallowed it, and you know what it was what it was, and we kept it pushing.
No way.
And
This is a real story, or you're
that's
just
a real
saying
story.
it
It's a
to
real
fuck with
story.
me?
But clearly that didn't work out. So high school came around, and the same story.
Best looking, like, what'd you expect?
So high school came around, and same story. You know, you and I were both in different relationships, and we'd still be somehow connected as far
Yeah.
as still talking as friends and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and we'd still hang out and all that kind of stuff. But nothing ever happened. I think
Crazy.
we hooked up once. Like we got together like boyfriend and girlfriend officially.
Yeah,
For
you
like
have
a-
to.
for like
We
a
have to
week.
tell that story.
can
That's
tell
a
that
funny
story.
story. So you almost asked me to be your girlfriend once, but then he did ask me to be his girlfriend for real, for real.
For real.
But high
Regrets.
school, high school was very. I think we were kind of in like two different worlds because in high school I was in theater, so that I kind of like that was. I remember like living, eating, breathing like everything that was
Drama,
like
dance, all that,
drama.
yeah.
And then I was in cheer, and I was always super dedicated to everything I did. And I did that like during the day at school. And then I also danced because I was part of a studio.
Yeah.
So I would do that after school. So in high school, I was just like super little determined Arlene, like
Yeah.
superstar everywhere. I remember I would go to school, do all the AP stuff, and then still go to dance studio at night and
Yeah.
not come home till like 10 or 11 p.m. And if you had AP, like you were always supposed to be there extra
right.
early, like
'Cause the workload was a lot harder,
crazy,
yeah.
like 6:37 or something like that. So in high school, I was always like into that world.
Our friendship worked out really well because again, you said you were always busy. I was always doing my thing. So we were
Yeah.
always like we had that baseline friendship, and you know, you did your thing, I did my thing. But whenever we like connected again, it was the same like.
But I mean, we still saw each other. So like, if I would see
we
you
had
at
mutual
school,
friends. We went to the same parties, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Even though you barely partied back
I
then.
barely partied because I was trapped.
I was DJing all the flyer
Oh.
parties.
You were little hoe.
I was in a different lifestyle.
He was in a very different lifestyle.
Yeah. So then, tell the story on how I asked you. Then.
Okay, yeah. So I think it was like I don't remember what year it was, but everyone was always like suspicious that you liked me. I think.
I think
feel.
everybody knew.
So you admit it. You finally admit you always liked me.
I think everybody knew because
So you finally admit you always liked me.
not always. You had your phases.
Trust me, I know.
You had your phases.
I don't remember what year it was, but we were always friends, and I think there was like a
I
little.
think it was like
phase.
10th or 11th grade.
I think it was like 10th grade. You had your little phase where like I think you were like in it to win it,
Yeah.
and I think it was like a weekend or something, and you picked me up in your dad's pickup truck.
Which I thought was tight because my mom had a minivan, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. And my dad had just got this brand new Tacoma. It was like a couple years old, but I was like, this shit's way cooler than a minivan. So I was like, yo, Pops, somebody need to borrow that. And yeah, I picked you up in the Tacoma, and we
You
went to
picked
Santa
me up.
Monica.
We went to Santa Monica, and it was like a cute little. And my parents didn't let me go anywhere, but anything that was like my drama friends or like Barry, those were the only people I was allowed to go out with.
Because I was safe.
And like be out for like a long period of time.
Right.
So he picks me up, we go to Santa Monica, we like walk around the boardwalk, like super cute sunset vibes.
Yeah.
And then we walk to the sand, and you were like, turn around, and I was like,
Come on, man, say
okay.
listen.
Yeah, stupid girl. And it was like a movie type of thing.
'Cause I was so
situation.
romantic.
Back then, you were romantic.
Yeah. And then let's preface where it stopped.
Oh,
Continue.
Yeah, it's probably my fault, but whatever. So he's like, turn around, whatever. Turn around, and then he like, open your eyes, that whole spiel. So I turn back around, and then the sand says, will you be my girlfriend?
It's showtime.
Oh, I was wrong one.
Straight up.
Will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
You were supposed to do straight up again.
It's too late.
And I was like, yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think I kind of trapped you there, and like you probably didn't really want to say that, but you said it out of like I did all the trouble and all that kind of stuff because a week later we broke
Santa
up.
Monica's Barrio.
A week later we broke up, and
Yeah.
not only did we break up, you didn't even break up with me. You had your best friend at the time
I did.
tell me, "Hey, she doesn't want to be with you." No more."
Barry is the nicest person ever. Well, he used to be. And like if you ever asked me to describe him back then, he was like the most romantic sweetheart.
Say that again.
You were the most romantic sweetheart like ever. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. Like I couldn't tell you that
It was
to
one
your
of the-
face. But it was so weird because I didn't mean it in like a malicious way, and I didn't want to break your heart, and I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
But it was one of those weird things where like your best friend becomes your boyfriend, and like all of a sudden you have to, like hold their hands
kissing,
and
all that
like
kinda stuff,
kiss them and like do all that stuff. And at that point, I couldn't do that with you.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, and I didn't want it to be forced, and I'm not a person to be fake like that. So I had to be honest and be like, before we get into this any further, and either one of us, even though you did get hurt, like
I like how you're saying this
Gets-
and giving the reason, but realistically, it was just your best friend saying, like, "Hey, like she doesn't want to be with you."
yeah.
So all this means nothing.
I'm trying to explain myself
Don't cover
because
it.
that's
You're trying to explain why
You-
you're a good person when you're really a bad
no. That was fucked up, but like I think it was for the best. And then
Sure.
I think in long
Sure.
term, if
person.
like who knows, what if we would have dated for a really long time and then it ended bad and we were just never friends again?
I
Like
think
it could have been that.
I think dating in high school also is
It's
just it's very
weird.
limited. Like you
Yeah.
don't have your own car, you don't have your own place. Like it's really just like you hang out before during school and like a little bit after. And that's about it. So I think it's hard for there's like very few relationships that really last from high school on. Like I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I think there's a lot of limitations if you're not really into it. So the same story happened in college. We went to college. You went to UCI. I went to Cal State Long Beach.
Yeah.
Again, both different relationships, both did different lifestyles. You lived in Newport at the time. I was commuting from Southgate to Long Beach. I was in a fraternity. You were in a sorority. Like complete different worlds.
Yeah, completely. And
Um,
I lived over
you
there,
lived on the beach. It was a whole different
I was
lifestyle.
never here. Yeah.
But we still kept in touch, and I think it was this whole same thing. Like you were so far removed, I was so far removed that when we did connect, it was always the mutual love that we always had. So we'd go
Yeah.
out, we'd go to the bars in Newport. Whenever you came here, we grabbed food. We went to Lucille's or whatever. I think at the time that was like my
Olive
favorite spot. Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. He loved pasta.
I loved
like, at
Italian
one
food at the
point.
time, and our relationship was always really good. And then
Where are you going with this?
I'm trying to tiptoe around what I'm saying next,
Why?
but
Do y'all want the full story or like the cut short story?
so after college, whatever, still never saw me as you friends on me. You never saw me as a
Friends on
boyfriend
him
material.
hard.
But I don't know what clicked and what changed for you.
So I think there's like a little backstory here. So you were in a relationship. I was in a relationship in college.
Yeah.
And shit went south for me,
Mhm.
which is fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know where shit went for him. He can tell you guys that, or that's none of my business. I won't get into that. I'll let him talk about that. So shit went south for me. And then after college, I graduated, obviously, but I still lived in Costa Mesa. So I lived
Yeah.
out in the OC with one of my friends. And that was like post-college, graduated, got my first real job. Like I was like a social media manager, and I worked at Nordstrom just
Right.
to like pay rent,
Yeah.
type of thing. And I don't know. I feel like I was a little lost back then, but I was just having fun. Like it was just like
It was college.
No, I had graduated.
Oh shit.
So I had already graduated. So it was
Whole
like that.
life or no life.
Kind of. So I lived an extra year over there because it was just like I'm not moving back to my parents' house.
Right.
So I think it was just like a year of being a desmadrosa, a year of just like having fun and being crazy and wild. and like single, and then still trying to work stuff out with somebody, and then it's just not working out, and then me like being in a weird funk.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, like the lease was running up, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I miss my family. I've been gone for a long time. I've missed a lot of milestones. I've
Yeah.
had new niece, a niece and nephews now back at home. And I just felt like I was out of the picture a lot, which I still kind of do feel like I am.
Yeah.
But just because I work so much, but I just felt like I was out of the picture. And I was like, maybe this lifestyle isn't for me anymore. And maybe like I just need something to help me like figure out what I want to do and like who I am, and just like help me get my shit together. And I was also starting to work and like still intern in LA.
Yeah.
And by LA, I mean like Hollywood,
Yeah, the commute
West
was just
LA,
crazy, so you had
Santa
to come
Monica.
back.
So the commute was crazy because there was like 1 or 2 days out of the week where I was driving from OC to like really fucking far.
And taking the 405, like,
Tears.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a crazy commute. So I decided that it was just best for me to move back home,
Yeah.
come back home, be closer to LA, be closer to work. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I feel like that really paved the way
for our relationship. I know.
for where I am in my career now.
That too.
But yes, our relationship, which like I could have never seen coming, and I think it just happened naturally, and the way it did, it just worked out. I don't know, it's so crazy. But so I moved back home, and I just took time to myself to get my shit together. And I didn't have any friends here, and
that's where I came in.
That's where bars came in, because you're like my 5-minute away friend. Like, hey, I'm bored. Let's hang out.
I was just convenient at the time.
Shut up.
I had nothing else going for me.
So yeah, I mean, I would hang out with my parents, hang out with my family. That's all I really did. I like really took the time to chill, get my life together, and figure my stuff out, work-wise, personally, all that good stuff. And then we would hang out. Like, we would just hang out as friends. I would come over. I think we started off like doing like design ideas and like.
Oh yeah, we wanted. I remember we
Yeah.
wanted to start a kids line.
Yeah. And that's how we started hanging out. Like,
that's funny. Yeah, you actually, because you wanted me to help you with designs. And since I was doing the whole fashion thing, you're like perfect person.
and
to
there
come
was
in.
there is
I
like
forgot about that.
yeah, specifically one time, and I think you were leaving to New York like on a
It
family
was my
trip.
dad's birthday. We were gonna take him to a trip to New York. All
Yeah,
expenses paid.
and you were like, yeah.
I mean, that hurt.
And you were like, well, I'm leaving, like you should come today. And I was like, cool. So we started hanging out, and then you moved to New York.
I moved to New York.
I mean, sorry,
this pregnancy
my
brain
brain.
is
You went to
intense.
New York for like a week,
Yeah.
and we kept in touch. Whatever, I came back, and then we would just hang out, and we would like grab food
Yeah.
and watch movies at your house, and that's kind of how it started. And it was very innocent. Like, we were just still friends.
Yeah.
But then I think there was one day specifically where it clicked for me, and I was like, this is fun. Like, this might be something. This can go somewhere. But I didn't tell you that because, like, I didn't know where your head was at. And
Let me thank you for approving me and giving me the
I
opportunity
texted
to fucking be in a relationship with you.
be an option.
Thank you for the honor.
Be an option.
Thank you for letting me be an option in your life.
So that one of the days I texted my friend, I remember I was just staring at you, and I was like, okay, like maybe I can do this. Like maybe
It's
this
best
can
looking
be
in
a
middle school.
thing.
Kept
So
up.
I texted my friend Sammy, and I was like, I think I'm gonna give Barry a chance.
Again,
And she
thank you for giving me the chance and
and she
opportunity.
was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how do you even know, like, one, that he like wants to be in a relationship with you? Like, how do you even know like where his head's? And I was just like, you know what? I was thinking to myself, if it's gonna happen, like, it's gonna happen, and if it doesn't, like, whatever. But like, I think I'll give it a chance. Like, this is me just putting shit in my
Internally
head.
talking to
Yeah,
yourself,
to
yeah.
myself, like, not even to him. And from then, I was more open-minded.
Yeah.
But I was also more like in a mentally stable place to like be open and be happy and like be willing to accept love,
Right.
which sounds so cheesy, but I work very weird. I'm weird.
Yeah.
And I don't open up to people easily like that.
Yeah.
So I think I was genuinely like wholly in a good place He's never even asked me to be his girlfriend.
To
Like
this
that's
day.
how like organically it just happened.
That's because you got me jaded since the first time I asked you my girlfriend, and it went south.
He's so
So
little
why would I do
bitter.
that again?
I mean, you can ask me to be something else, so it's fine. You know, we'll give you a second chance. I think I've done enough. You know.
Yeah.
So that's how we started dating, and I think there's like details and shit that's happened in between, and like people can think and
I mean, there's a lot more
assume,
behind the
yeah,
scenes.
what
It's just-
they
yeah,
want,
it's-
but that's like, I wish we were fun, and I wish we were more interesting, but like that's a story.
it was a long time coming, and
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
we had experiences in life and like different relationships, different people in our lives, and I think it was just timing. I think is really
For
what it came
sure.
down to. And I mean, to this day, like we're in a great space. Obviously, we have a baby coming.
I have a baby.
But I think you and I both have a lot of goals and very ambitious into what we want.
Yeah.
And even something small as this podcast, just starting this is something that we've always wanted to do and just go for it.
I'm kind of glad we do this too, because it's fulfilling like my TV reporting ambition thing that I'm kind of sad I never did.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you the spotlight. You have a camera there. You have a camera there.
I have my mic.
You have a mic. You have a professional mic. But yeah, I mean, those things I think are very important that kind of help us stay motivated and stay
Yeah.
creative.
I think we balance each other out like in a really good way too, because I feel like a lot of our work is very similar yet different.
I think you definitely push me out of my comfort zone because I would not be the type of person to be on camera. I'm very behind the scenes. I'll be shooting the content. I'll be
He's so
editing
annoying.
the content.
I tell him like, you're as cute as all these reggaetoneros, dude. Like, come on, get your shit together.
Just let me get this blonde hair real quick.
And the little dangly piercing.
Easy. I still got the whole piercing, so we're straight.
So dumb.
No, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think you take me out of my comfort zone, and we're doing things like this, and I'm very proud of us for doing this. I mean, there's a lot more we can say in different episodes as far as
Yeah.
traveling and business experiences and like life experiences that we've gone through.
Yeah, we honestly, we haven't been together. I mean, we've known each other our whole lives. So, I mean, that establishes
Yeah.
like, I don't know, credibility and like longevity, I guess.
Yeah.
But we haven't been together for that long. We've only been together for like 4 years.
3-4 years, yeah.
So,
But in that span, we've done a lot. I mean, we've
Yeah,
done
that's what I'm trying to
everything
say.
from fucking moving together to
fucking,
go to Medellin,
yeah.
you know, all that. So
And what I like about Barry is he's just down. Like he's very conservative in like the fact of like he thinks about things, which is good because I don't. Like he'll think about things twice and like analyze the situation and like all that. And I'm more of like, let's just fucking do it. Let's go. And he's down. So I think that's a good balance.
a lot of times too, I'm just like I give you the green light, not thinking you're gonna do it, and then you do it, and I'm just like, well,
I'm the number one booker ever.
yeah.
Like all I have to fuck it is good enough for me. Like that's a yes.
She would text me like, yo, what do you think about this price or like this flight or like whatever, and I'm just like, cool, or like, all right. And I think that's her green light to like, all
That's
right.
my green light.
Next text message is the receipt to like
The confirmation number and
Pay
like the
me.
dates. Like
Yeah.
make sure you put
Pay your-
these in
yeah.
your calendar.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of how we work, how we mesh, and you know, I wouldn't trade that for anything. I think we've experienced a lot, and like I said, from
We
like
have.
the travels to like the home experiences. I mean, we're currently constructing this place, and like
Yeah.
there's
It's a
a-
work in progress.
there's-
Have you seen like little
there's-
missing pieces of wood? That's
we have
why.
no blinds, no shutters, no none of
Yeah.
that stuff. But you know, it's all things that we're learning together.
We've just done a lot, and we have a baby on the way. So I think within the few years that we have been together, we've accomplished a lot, from traveling to work to like personal achievements and things like that. So I think you're trying to say that we're like a good mesh and we balance
Yeah.
each other out, and like we're in a happy place, and we are proud of the things that we've done, but we still have a lot
to do, but
more
I
to do and a lot more to accomplish.
Yeah, and we want to share these experiences. We want to share these failures and triumphs and all that stuff with the listeners here, you guys. And hopefully you guys can get something out of this, whether it be something inspirational or some motivation to like just go travel or whatever it is we talk about. You know,
or
that's,
even something as small as like seeing people that are like you, that look like you, that think like you, and obviously we're not influencers.
you kind of are.
I'm not an
You kind of
influencer. Like I don't think we're influencers, but I think we're like pretty positive people. Like today I saw someone who I like don't know well, but they were like seeing you pregnant or seeing you like this like brings me so much joy, and like little things like that are super sweet, because I like when I can relate to people that even though I may not know very well, but like look like me, think like me, like have the same like mentality and just like grew up the same way. Like I like when those people inspire me, so we can be
It feels attainable.
Yeah, like those type of people for somebody else. I hope that helps, like whether it's just hearing your like tips for starting a business, or like hearing my experiences like as a woman in like a white and male dominated workplace. Like I just hope that resonates and like sheds light and gives hope to some people out there.
Yeah, I mean, so with that, that's our podcast, Hustle and Soul. Hopefully, you know, it gets better with time. Hopefully, you guys were entertained. Hopefully, you get something out of it. Hopefully, you learned a little bit about us.
Yeah.
Heard some interesting stories that I'd first heard of today. So, hopefully.
And same here, apparently.
Yeah. So, hopefully, you guys enjoy this. Please like, comment, subscribe. If this is on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever we're able to upload this, please make sure to review it. Give us a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff, because we definitely want to keep creating this content, but making content that you guys want to listen to or watch. So let us know what you guys want to hear.
I was going to say that. Comment below. We want to talk about things that are fun, but we also want to talk about things that are important. And I think we want to hear from everyone what you all want to listen to. And people have been hitting me up on Instagram, and they're like, I have topics for you, blah, blah. So comment below. Let us know. And like, let's do it.
Give me a reason to buy this equipment, because if one person tells me like, yo, I love your podcast.
Yeah, like you'll make Barry's day. But I think long term, like we also want to bring other people on here too, and bring people that are like motivating, bring people from the community that have businesses, that don't have businesses, like everything. So we want to cover a little bit of everything on this podcast. So let us know what should be next. And we have a lot of like crazy experiences, good life experiences, work experiences. Obviously, we're pregnant, so like we can literally talk about so many things.
Yeah, and we're trying to bang out as many different episodes before the baby comes. So
before I go into labor, because
we'll try to be consistent. We'll figure out a schedule. Hopefully, it'll be something consistent where you guys can, consistently watch us at a certain day or time or whatever. We'll figure that out. So again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys got something from this, and we out.